Have you been struggling to get the perfect kind of donuts? And my dear, no matter how hard you try, you want a donut to look like this, but it no go work. You have watched different YouTube videos, you have tried all you know how to do, but nothing is working. You're going to be finding out 6 secret tips that will help you to get the perfect donut every time. And the last one is very important. You wouldn't want to miss out on that. Number 1 is use the right kind of flour. See, the kind of flour you use for your donut is very important. I used to think it does not matter, but you cannot just go to the market and buy any flour. You cannot use self-rising flour for your donut. You cannot use all-purpose flour for your donut. You cannot use wheat flour for your donut. It no go work. There are 2 flours that I've discovered works for your donut. Either use your bread flour or cassava flour. Now, tip number 2, don't use stale or expired yeast. See, this yeast thing is the problem. What is donut without yeast? If you're using either instant yeast or active dry yeast and you're adding it to your flour or you're proofing it in warm water and it is still, for example, your yeast that have been in your cabinet for 6 months, you just want to make donuts, you wake up one morning and you use it. My dear, discard and get a good and fresh yeast. If your donut does not proof because your yeast is bad, when you fry your donut, it will come out looking like this. Look at this donut. I made a mistake of using stale yeast, and this is what I got. My dough did not proof, and when I fried it, the inside did not fry well. I felt so bad. Do not make that mistake. Make sure your yeast is good. It is not stale and not expired. Here's number 3. Use margarine instead of butter. Butter is one very important ingredient you can add to your donut. But I discovered that using margarine instead of butter is the best. Your donut comes out being more fluffy. If you use butter, I discovered that your donut may come out dripping with oil or your donut may absorb excess oil. Look at this donut recipe. I use margarine. You can see how fluffy it is. As in, the donut was so fluffy that even after I left it for like a day, it was still fresh. So margarine has a way of giving your donut that texture of class. That is what I will call it. So you can use margarine instead of butter. You come back and thank me. Now, knead with your butter. Another way for you to get a very fluffy donut is to knead with your butter and knead for at least 20 minutes. If you can go for 30 minutes, better. Now, you can decide to add your butter before adding your water, like what I'm doing here. But after that, make sure you leave, even if it's a little butter of like 1 teaspoon, leave a little butter and knead with it. You can see me adding my butter here while kneading. It helps to give your donut a very classic texture. Yes, even if it's very little, it gives it a very classic texture when kneading, especially if you are kneading with your hand. Even if you are kneading with a mixer, add all your ingredients and your water before adding your butter last and knead with it with your mixer. You will come back and thank me. You can see the texture of your dough. Your donuts or your dough will come out having a very smooth and velvety texture. That's, I don't know, I'll call it first class texture. So take note of that. Proof in a warm environment. See, but if you're in Nigeria or in an African country, you're not going to have issues with the environment of proofing. But if you're in the UK or Canada, when the environment can be cold at times, my dear, you can't joke with it. Donuts can take you 4 hours to proof if you're not proofing in a warm environment. Your yeast need warm environment to work or for it to be active. So if you're in a very cold environment, I will advise that you heat off your oven for like 5 to 10 minutes. Turn off your oven because you don't want to bake your dough. Place your dough in there and allow it to proof for like 45 minutes to 1 hour. If your environment is okay and your yeast is active, it shouldn't take you more than 45 minutes to 1 hour or 1 hour 30 minutes for your dough to proof before you go on now to the next process. Now, weigh your dough. The next thing you must take note of is weighing your dough. When making pillow donuts or any kind of donut, it's advisable that you weigh your dough because you do not want your dough to be so big. If it was the round donut that has holes, it's easy. But pillow donut, if it is too big and you don't weigh it, I advise between 80 to 100 grams. It will not fry well and you are going to have issues. Fry at the right temperature. Our final tip. See, but this is where so many persons have issues with pillow donut because if you do not fry at the right temperature and your oil is too hot, your donut will not cook properly on the inside and the inside will come out raw. I showed you a video of the donut I made that the inside came out raw. This reason can also make the inside of your donut not to cook properly. I suggest you fry between 150 to 160 degrees Celsius. So you may need to get a thermometer. Close one eye and open the other eye and buy yourself a thermometer so that you can check the temperature of your oil while frying. If you get the temperature for the first batch, by experience, I discovered that subsequent batches, your oil would have been very hot. So using your thermometer, you can reduce the temperature of your oil by adding more oil and frying the subsequent batches. With that, all your donuts will come out looking the same without one looking maybe not being properly cooked on the inside. And that white slime bar that we are going for, we will get it, whether you use the mixer or not. And at the end of your day, your donut is going to come out looking so soft and fluffy. And you see the white slime, it will be showing. It will show. Everybody will know it. You can use this recipe for your milk donuts, jam donuts, whatever kind of donut recipe you want to use it for, you will get the perfect donut recipe at the same time using these tips and tricks. I don't know if this video have been of help to you. If it has, do like, do share, do comment, and see you in my next one. Check the description box for ingredients and measurement for various quantity of donuts. Come back and thank me. Bye bye.